In the heart of Beverly Hills, a billionaire's world is turned upside down when his nanny's love for his son reveals a shocking secret that changes everything. In the opulent but cold halls of the Blake mansion, Jane Thompson, a dedicated nanny, had been caring for 8-month-old Lucas Blake since he was just a few weeks old. Lucas's mother, Victoria, had passed away during childbirth, leaving Harrison Blake, the billionaire tech CEO, a widower and a single father struggling with grief. Harrison's world was one of luxury and isolation, his grief manifesting as emotional detachment from his son. Jane, on the other hand, had formed an unbreakable bond with Lucas, providing him with the love and comfort he desperately needed. One evening, as Jane sat on the nursery floor rocking Lucas to sleep, she noticed a small, faded photograph tucked away in a drawer. It was a picture of a young woman holding a baby, her eyes filled with warmth and love. The woman resembled Jane in an uncanny way, and the baby looked eerily like Lucas. Intrigued and slightly unsettled, Jane decided to investigate further. She began to ask discreet questions around the house, hoping to unravel the mystery behind the photograph. Meanwhile, Harrison was struggling with his own demons. His grief had left him emotionally paralyzed, unable to connect with his son. He saw Lucas's cries as a reminder of his loss, and his guilt over not being able to save Victoria made it even harder for him to bond with his son. One night, after a particularly difficult day, Harrison found Jane in the nursery, holding Lucas close as she sang a soft lullaby. The scene struck a chord within him, stirring emotions he had long suppressed. "How do you do it?" Harrison asked, his voice barely above a whisper. "How do you make it look so easy?" Jane looked up at him, her eyes reflecting a mix of sadness and determination. "Love, Mr. Blake," she replied gently. "Love is the only thing that matters." Harrison felt a pang in his heart, a realization that he had been missing something crucial in his own life. He reached out to touch Lucas's tiny hand, feeling a warmth that he hadn't experienced in months. As he pulled back, his gaze fell on the photograph in the drawer. "Who is that?" he asked, picking it up. Jane hesitated for a moment before answering. "That's my sister, Kesha," she said softly. "And that's her baby, my nephew. They both passed away when I was just a little girl." Harrison's eyes widened in surprise. "I'm so sorry, Jane," he murmured. "I had no idea." Jane took a deep breath, her eyes never leaving the photograph. "There's more, Mr. Blake. Kesha was my twin sister. We were inseparable. And when she died, it felt like a part of me died too." Harrison listened, his heart aching for the pain Jane must have endured. "Why are you telling me this now?" he asked gently. Jane looked up at him, her eyes filled with tears. "Because, Mr. Blake, when I look at Lucas, I see my nephew, and when I hold him, I feel like I'm holding a piece of Kesha back. I love him as if he were my own, and I would do anything to protect him and keep him safe." Harrison was taken aback by the intensity of Jane's words. He had always known that Jane was devoted to Lucas, but he had never realized the depth of her love. "Jane," he said, his voice choked with emotion, "you are more than just a nanny to Lucas. You are his guardian angel, and I am grateful for everything you do for him." As they sat there, the weight of their shared pain and love for Lucas binding them together, Harrison felt a shift within him. He realized that Jane's love for Lucas was not just a job. It was a calling, a mission to honor the memory of her sister and nephew. And in that moment, he knew that he had to let go of his grief and embrace the love that was right in front of him, a love that could heal them all. The next morning, Harrison approached Jane with a newfound respect and gratitude. "Jane," he said, "I want you to know that you are not just an employee in this house. You are family, and I want to make sure that Lucas grows up knowing the love and care that you have given him." Jane's eyes welled up with tears of joy. "Thank you, Mr. Blake," she whispered. "That means the world to me." Harrison smiled, his heart lighter than it had been in months. "And please call me Harrison," he added. "After all, we are family now." As they stood there, the sun streaming in through the nursery window, they knew that their lives had been forever changed. The love that Jane had for Lucas had bridged the gap between them, healing wounds and strengthening bonds. And in the end, it was that love that would guide them through the darkest of times, reminding them that family is not just about blood, but about the love that binds them together.